discussed kind of where this character's mindset as and why he has to leave everything that society has kind of been telling him is the right thing for him. And now we get onto the journey and we start discussing this character's journey into finding what is right for him. The first song that we get to at this point is called Falling or Fallen. He starts to realize that he's not living up to who he is, and he sends out a smoke signal, so to speak. And that's the next song on the album. It's titled Smoke Signal. So this song is just this kind of cry for help, knowing that he does need to hold himself to a higher standard on his life and really lead the way for those behind him. The next track after that is actually one of my favorites on the entire album, and it's my collab with Etc. Etc. And the track is called The Climb. We kind of had this idea of that this character would be feeling the struggle over whether or not he should return to the easy life that he had, where he was never facing adversity. There was no questioning of whether or not things were right or wrong, or whether or not he should fight for what he believes is true in his mind and to be unique. So it's at this point where the character decides to take the climb and to be a leader for those who follow behind him. And we come to these two sets of songs that I think are really kind of the impacting points of the album for me. And the first two of this set is called Evening's Gradient and also Autumn's Fading Sun. And this is where the whole album began for me, almost a year and a half ago. And really these two songs are just about making sure that you take the time to stop and appreciate the beauty that's all around us just in every given moment. So all the while that this character, he's on his climb, and there becomes a point where just the pressures of everybody looking up to him, they really start to break him, and that song is called Broken. And that, I believe, is like a very difficult time that we all face. We all face just the idea that so many people are looking at what we're doing as being a leader, and there's so much pressure to excel or to really be great that sometimes that does break us, and we have to step out of that moment and really just get back to ourself and kind of the reason why we're going on this climb. It's at this point where the character stops and he has this own little personal pep talk, just that I should kind of stick to my guns and follow the path that I felt that I was meant to take, rather than the path that everybody else was choosing for themselves and what was really helping them out. So the next part of the process is this song called You and Me, and it's this song where the character turns back on the journey and kind of looks at the most important thing all along the entire journey process, and that was the relationships that he had, those people who were supporting him, and for me that's been a very specific sort of thing in my mind as well. Just you know, looking to you guys who are watching this video and supporting me right now, that's obviously a big part of my journey and why I'm here where I am now. And it's just, the song is being thankful for that and acknowledging that. That brings us to the next song, and that's called Floating, and it's another really awesome song, another just high point for me on the album process, and it's a song that I co-wrote with Dirty Loud, and what it's about is it's about that point where you just kind of reach the point in your journey where you just feel so successful that, you know, it feels like you can take on anything, and it's just a song that's like filled with kind of a happy sort of confidence. That brings us to the final song, which is Zenith. And that is literally the space directly above the highest point on the horizon, which would be our mountaintop. And the meaning behind the song is just that we are all meant to live in this sort of space, where we just feel so connected to who we are as a person and what we're put on this earth to do and be, that we're always just living at the top of our own mountains.